I guess, Mike, if you want to take it away. Oh,
Sure.
and quickly before I start, I
Oh,
think everybody should have those Sienna cables. We sent them up to the different regions. I think we know we sent it to Connecticut, we sent it to Jersey. That you're going to need, obviously, to be able to log into these NIDs. Sorry, Mike. Now you could go.
all right. It's pretty straightforward. It's just going to be, you're just going to be changing the IP addresses in the VLAN. It's nothing else. And the issue that Ski was talking about before, that Jules is going to send out another revision. It's down at the bottom when you're doing the users. I'll go through that afterwards. It's a little out of order. But other than that, so these are the IPs that I'm going to be using. And I'm just going to plug them in here. I'm just going to put it on the other side. Once you put it in here, it'll change it over here for you. And then for the management mask, you're not going to put the actual mask. You're just going to put the /27 or whatever it is. Gateway. Put that, and then you're just going to put whatever your host name. So just test for now. And then for your region, there's a drop down for the NTP server. This doesn't change, and this won't change the port. It's always going to be port 3. So you can really only have 2 circuits on this because there's only 3 ports, and that's all you have to change. And then
And those 3 ports are only SFPs, right? So if you're doing electrical, you'd have to have an RJ45 SFP, just for awareness.
yeah, try to make this a little bigger so you guys could see it better. Can you guys see? Can you guys see both screens? Good. Okay.
Yep.
So also, so the 10 gig and the 1 gig are completely different. The commands are different. The login's different. Everything is. So whatever you do on this, you can't carry over to the 10 gig, unfortunately. So for this one, it's SU and WWP, which is on the PowerPoint that I think Ski attached to the invite. And so over here in the Excel sheet, this is already in there, but I'll just put it in anyway. It'll install it, but then when you do a software show, these should say active and this should say installed over here. And then you're just going to copy and paste. Throughout the Excel sheet, he changed the colors. So for this part, you're going to be copying the black, and then you're going to be doing the blue. I don't know why he did that, but so right now you're just going to copy this. Paste that. This is to change the host name. Right now it's just the black. The blue is just telling you what you're doing. This is to remove the VLAN, so you can put any other VLAN on this. It changes the MTU. Command is for your NTP server. And then this is in case you have to add an E line in the future. Copy the whole thing and paste it. Now it changes to blue. And you can do it section at a time, but you can also copy the entire thing. It works. I did it both ways. So on the bottom over here where it says save config, that's just him telling you to save it. That's not an actual command. The command to save it is config save. On the 1 gig, you have to put in the command to save it. On the 10 gigs, it will save automatically. And the little star next to your host name means that it's not saved. So once you save it, that'll go away. And this is where Jules has to change it on the sheet. This admin user is already in there defaulted as just an admin rights access, not a super. So if you try to put this in, show you that it already exists. So what you have to do is down here, you're going to be deleting all the default ones. You have to do this first in order to put in the super user admin. For each username that you add, you have to enter the password manually, which is on the right side of the sheet here. So for the admin, the password is light_111. And then you're just going to go through it. I'm going to do ENG admin next. Password. LP Tech. So we're used to this one. Instead of an A, we normally do an @ symbol. He's just doing a regular A. So just be aware of that. It messed me up a couple times because it's just muscle memory at this point, but. And then the last one we're going to add is NMC Tech, and it's the same install password. Now you're going to delete all the default ones. You're not going to delete the admin. We already did that. If you delete this, they won't be able to enroll it into MCP. So we're going to just delete user, CSS. So right now we're logged in as SU. Once you delete that, it will boot you and you'll have to relog in. So I like to do a config save before I delete that, just in case anything happens. And then you can delete it. It'll boot you out. And then you can log in with any of the other ones that you just created. I'll do the admin. And then you can do a config save again. So this is good. And that is pretty much it as far as configuring it. If you look, he has a couple of somewhat useful commands, but the configuration show brief, you can use that to make sure that your IPs are correct in here and what VLAN is on the port and everything like that. And then once you have circuits in there, it'll give you more detail. If you make a mistake and you need to change the IP, you can just add the command again up here, and it'll just override it. The VLAN, there's a little more involved. I can send you guys the command, but it might be best to just reset it to factory default. It's pretty quick. Right here is the command for it. These are the commands to remove the VLANs and delete them, and then you just have to do the VLAN commands again. But if you type configuration, right over here is your reset to factory default, and it'll just reset it. But that's pretty much it for this, for management. I tested this in the back in the lab with this one, and you can SSH or Telnet into it. Pretty much it. Any questions about this part?
Hey, Mike, Sean here. So if we reset the factory default, I also saw that you had a delete VLAN. If we reset it to factory default, does it automatically delete the VLAN?
Yep, it'll get rid of everything. It'll get rid of the logins. You'll log in with that SU WWP login again, and it'll just be like out of the box. Except for the licenses, those will be activated still, but everything else would just be defaulted.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, because these commands are really kind of hard to figure out, and engineering didn't really give us any kind of scenarios if we have to change anything or fix anything. So you can kind of figure it out by question mark and tabbing your way through everything, but resetting it to factory default just takes a few minutes and might be the easiest way.
And Mike, what was the reboot time on these?
About 5 minutes or so. It's a little longer than a regular adva, I think.
Or Obsidian? Obsidian was like 3, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Does anybody else have any other questions or?
No, I'll just make sure all it takes in Jersey, call Mike Karen if he has an issue.
Pretty much.
Call Jules.
That's fine.
Yeah, well, no, Jules don't answer, you know that.
As far as I can tell, Mike,
straightforward.
the only thing that might be confusing is just that deleting the usernames and stuff like that. That seems like the only thing that might be a little more confusing than just a config.
Well, when Jules send out the next revision, it'll be a little easier, I think. You'll just follow it. I was talking to him yesterday about it. He supposedly went through it with the woman from Sienna, and they worked out all the bugs, but I don't think they did a real-time test on it.
Nice job, Mike.
Thank you, Mandy.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike.